the yearly sacrifice and to pay his vow. But Hannah did not go up, for she said to her husband, as soon as the child is weaned, I'll bring him so that he may appear in the presence of the Lord and dwell there forever. Elkanah, her husband, said to her, do what seems best to you. Wait until you have weaned him. Only may the Lord establish his word. So the woman remained and nursed her son until she weaned him. And when she had weaned him, she took him up with her along a 3-year-old bull, an ephah of flour and a skin of wine, and she brought him to the house of the Lord at Shiloh. And the child was young. Then they slaughtered the bull, and they brought the child to Eli. And when she said, O my Lord, as you live, my Lord, I am the woman who was standing here in your presence praying to the Lord. For this child I prayed, and the Lord has granted me my petition that I made to him. Therefore I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he lives, he is lent to the Lord. And he worshipped the Lord there. Now, always after prayer, God remembers it. But who forgets it? We forget it. We forget our promise to God. We forget what we have been given to God, by God. See, what's important is after prayer, and after prayer is answered. After prayer is answered, you're like, oh, okay, you just go on. No. You got to remember what you promised to him, and you got to pay that. So Hannah clearly remembered what she promised to God, so she brought Samuel, and then brought to the temple, and gave him to God. She did not forget after prayer. When Jesus healed 10 leprosy people, 10 lepers, 9 just went away, only 1 came back and gave thanks to God. See, there's this thing called prayer, prayer answered, and after prayer is answered prayer. Okay, prayer, answer prayer, and prayer, giving thanks to God, and remembering what you have promised to God, and giving back what he owes. Now if you look at here, when Hannah was giving Samuel to God, she brought the burnt offering of ox, and she completely burned it to God. She completely, not even a thing is left. It's a complete burn. What is burnt offering called? What does it mean? Burnt offering means when a sacrifice is completely burned and offered to him. Which means Samuel, my son, is completely yours, and it's all yours, and you have it. You know, when Jesus Christ died for our sin, instead of us, that he was sacrificed, that he was killed, that he was destroyed on behalf of you. Now because of that, the fact that you're saved, you know what that means? That means there will be no more rules or regulations. There will be no more laws. You know why? Because you're completely given to him. What does that mean? Because you're completely sold out to him, there is no need of laws or rules. What is the rule says? Rule says, give 1/10 to God. But now that Christ died for your sin, how much do you give? You give all to God. Which means there's no such thing as rules. Why? Because there's no need of rules. Why? Because it's not okay, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. No. All together is all given to God. It's completely sold out to God. That's what it means by the gospel. See, gospel comes in and it abolishes and destroys all the laws, not to let you do whatever you want, but it's saying that you are completely sold out to him. If he died on the cross and paid for your price, and he shed all his blood and all his water for you, that means all of you is owned by him. He owns you. 100% all of you is his. So it's no longer, okay, let's calculate this. Okay, this much God is yours, this much is mine. Okay, let's go back to the law and let's examine the law. Okay, I earned $1,000, so $100 give to you, $900 is mine. See, rule is no longer there. Why? Because you're completely sold out to him because he died for you. Because he paid the price dying on the cross. Now, is God pushing that? Is God like, you know what, I died for you, so give all to me? No. Who's saying that? Your heart is saying that. Those who have encountered by the message of the cross, it's not God who is somehow letting you go through a guilt trip to give all to him, but it's the very heart of yours is saying that, you know what? No longer I have a deal with God. No longer there's some kind of, deal give and take with God. No longer there's some kind of compromising with God or having a meeting with God. Why? My heart is telling, because he died for me, he sacrificed his one and only begotten Son for me. My heart is telling that all that I am is his. All my time, all my energy, all my money, everything that I have right now is no longer mine and is his. That's what Hannah did with Samuel to God. All this is yours. You have it. It's all yours. Nothing belongs to me. See, that's the gospel mentality. That's the gospel mentality. Those who have been truly encountered by God's gospel of Jesus Christ, they don't calculate. They always say, I did not give enough. I did not give enough of my time. I did not give enough of my money. I did not give enough of my energy. Always you have the sense that, you know what, I didn't give enough. Not by the guilt, but by your heart being touched and encountered by the message of the gospel. It's not God coming and bullying on you saying, give it all to me, it's mine. It's your heart is saying, you know what, if that truly happened to my life, if God really exists and that truly happened to my life, I cannot hold anything behind. I'm not going to save some portion of mine in case there is no God. In case this is not true. No, it's not. Those who have truly encountered by the message of the cross, they give all to him. They give all to him. Today the schedule is up to 5:30, right? And sometimes we go more. Sunday, we go more. Why? Because the people who are encountered by the gospel, they go crazy. That's the power of the gospel. That's the message of the gospel. That's why the Christians who weren't that much organized, who weren't educated, who weren't systemized in the past, in the history, they changed the world. They just spread out and they're just moving on to the vision and they just changed it. There was no specific know-hows or strategy or organization. They were just spreading out and they were just swallowing the world. Why? Because they are completely sold out to God, just like Samuel. Chapter 2. Now, this is Hannah's prayer. Verse 1. Now, let's carefully examine the prayer of Hannah. What does it consist of? Verse 1 says this, and Hannah prayed and said, my heart exalts in the Lord, my strength is exalted in the Lord. My mouth derides my enemies because I rejoice in your salvation. Hannah is praising God. Hannah is praising God not because she feels better, not because she likes the music, but because of appreciation of what God did. Thanksgiving to what he has done to Hannah resulted Hannah's praise to God. Now, another thing that you can find here is, my mouth derides my enemies because I rejoice in your salvation. What is Hannah talking about here? What is it? Salvation. See, Hannah, through all those turmoils, eventually having baby. See, having a baby itself is not, that's not what the whole thing is. Through all this process, through all these turmoils, eventually Hannah ended up with this blessing and this favor of God. This whole process is called what? Salvation. That is the salvation.